Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw tips and tricks. Over the last couple of days, I've made a couple of videos, and we originally said it was a snowflake. Well, we kind of lost the snowflake, so I typed out some snowflakes, and if you don't know about DA fonts, and go get WW Flakes. They're pretty good, so I picked this one right here. We're going to do something a little bit different. So, and the snowflake really doesn't have anything to do with the reason I'm making the video. I kind of started thinking about something else. And I guess you should really start with, if you're going to make your snowflake 4.5, go and make it 4.5. And then what we're going to do exactly what we did before. We're going to take a 2-point line, and I'm going to rotate it 60 degrees, and then Control D and make a duplicate and rotate it 120 degrees. You don't really have to go all the way around. Now, we're going to make these lines, but we're going to go ahead and convert them to a thickness line first. And I think a little bit thicker than that. Okay. And then I'm going to go to Object, convert the outline to an object, and I'm going to left click, right click. That gives us this area that we're going to write in. Now, I'm going to make another ellipse in the center. Whoop. Hold down your control button so it's perfect. And hit P, put it in the center of the page. That's pretty good. I can't remember now what thickness I made that line, but I think that's it. So go up to Object, convert it to an outline. And by doing this, so now when we get the Smart Fill tool, and this is the real reason for the video, I'm going to take the Smart Fill tool and fill this in. But it's only going to go to that line. And if you remember from the videos a couple of days ago, we had to adjust it. Well, let's adjust it first. So let's go to Effects and Contour, and we're going to contour to the outside. Let's say 0.1. That's pretty close. That'll get us to the outside of that line. I'm going to say that's enough. So we're going to select it all, go up to Effects, and, go to Object, break the contour apart. And then if you'll click on the inside one and move it over. So this is our, let me make sure that's right. Yep. This is our larger one. So now we're going to get our text ready. I'm going to use that same Morgan that we've used for a couple of days. And I promise you this will probably, hopefully, be the last one. Get a little bit closer to the size. This one isn't as cool as the other font I've used. Let me make sure it's welded. Yep. And then we're going to Control D and make a duplicate while holding down the two-sided arrow. So it's not going to be as cool. It might be a little more readable, but we're going to just hold down the control button and bring that up. That'll look pretty cool. Now, if we weld this, we'll get that. Now, we're going to go to Effects and Envelope, and we're going to get right here to create from envelope form and put it in that form. Now we're going to select it, hold down the Shift and EC. And the reason I do that so I can nudge it over here. And you can see what it did. It got it hanging over the line. It's hanging over the line because my contour is bigger. So that's probably strong enough with this other part. So now let's get rid of our lines. And I've got one more idea to do for this. Now grab this, Control D, make a duplicate. Move your center rotation. You always want to click on that and get your center rotation to the center. I'm going to bring in my other indexing line. There it is in the center, and I'm going to I don't know if I can't remember if I made a duplicate. I'm going to rotate it 60 degrees. Yeah, that's going to, well, might be a little bit hard to read, but you can always adjust that. Control D, 120 degrees, Control D, Control D, Control D. Now, let's see what it looks like when it's welded. And you can see we're at 4.6 inches big, and that's going to help us in a second. So we're going to weld this. That doesn't look too bad. I kind of like this shape. Yeah, it's still readable. Now, there's a couple of things we can do with our snowflake. One, we could put one of them in the center of the page, and then it would be kind of a snowflake. It's not quite big enough. Let me make a duplicate of that before I run off and mess it up. So I'm going to hold down the Shift key and make it a little bit bigger. Make sure everything's touching, and now let's try to weld it. Perfect. So now that looks really good. But if you wanted to go a little bit further, and we're going to probably have to turn this at a 60-degree angle to get well, maybe 30, to get a flat side right there. And if you remember, I'm going to go ahead and hit P, put it in the center of the page, and then holding down the control button, I'm going to get it where now this will be a little fragile, to say the least, but it would look pretty cool. So Control D, make a duplicate, double click on the rotation and put it in the center. And we don't know really our degree yet, so we can do this. We can move it over and have that touch. And we're at 55. Yeah. It's got to be something divisible by, so we're going to need really 60. It would be too fragile to do it any other way. So let's make it smaller. That might even be better. And then we can move that down. That looks pretty good. So Control D and make a duplicate. Mirror it, or not mirror it, put it in the center of the page. And then let's rotate it. 45, we can get 45. Let's say hit 45. Still not going to, and that would be cool, but I think it would be too fragile. So, you know what, if we make this just a little bit bigger, the 45 should work. Maybe I want it. So I've learned this recently. Grab this before you hold down your Shift key and let it grow outwardly. Now Control D, make a duplicate. Move the center rotation to the center. See, sometimes it doesn't even look like it's close, but it's there. Now, we're already at 30 degrees. So we need to go take away the 0 and hit plus 45. Well, okay, here's how, figure it out so that you don't have to worry about the math. Let's take this and smart fill it. And when you smart fill something, it makes a new object. So now our snowflake is at 0 again. Control D and make a duplicate. I'm making this more difficult than it actually is. Now let's rotate it 45 degrees. What was I thinking? I could have sworn it was 45 degrees a while ago. It can't be 45 degrees. I'm not that good at math, but I know what that is. You know what? 15 degrees is going to work. So let's back up here. Get rid of that one. Let's just make sure we have 1 and we had 2. That would really mess it up. Control D, make a duplicate. Move the center rotation to the center. Lately, it's been snapping right to the center, but now let's rotate it at 15 degrees. That worked. Control D, all the way around. Sometimes on something like this, you've welded so much, it might not weld. Okay, and I got stuck. I can't see it. Oh. Now back up because you don't want more than one. See, I went way too far. My computer, and this would be a good thing to use for the transformation docker. So we're back to where we were. Let's move this out of the way and let's weld all this. Cross your fingers. And I think it's going to work because it's working on it. A lot of times weld won't work when you're welding on top of a weld, but this one did. That's pretty cool. So let's just take our Smart Fill tool. Let's use a dark blue and fill in. Now it's going to take a little bit of time because it's having to fill in quite a bit. And then just put your hanger on top somehow, connect it. Come on, Smart Fill. You can do it. It's going to work because it's Corel's having to put that blue in every one of these little facets. Now our logo is a little bit, our ornament is a little bit bigger now, but once it's welded, you can always, well, it's already welded. I didn't have to do that. It's ready to cut out. You could just resize it. My computer evidently got hung up, but I guarantee that will work. And it really makes it look pretty cool by adding all that. And it's relatively strong if you think about it. Anyway, I hope that helps somebody someday, and thank you for watching.